So in this one, we have a huge unboxing and a giant announcement coming on the channel that you guys won't want to miss.
Staring at those city lights. Had some ugly days to get some pretty nights. Cut some people off, dreams take a sacrifice. Yeah, they wanna make it, but can never pay the price.
Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Benjamin Nowak. This channel is a smallmouth experience, a 100% smallmouth bass fishing focused channel, just in case you guys don't know who I am. In this video, like I already mentioned in the intro, we have this big unboxing that we have to talk about that aligns with this enormous announcement that I'm gonna make. Some of you guys already guessed kind of what's going on with the channel when you guys saw my Abu Garcia Zeta unboxing, but there's a lot of really cool things happening that I can't wait to talk to you guys about. I also apologize for being away so long. Just started going back to work, Frank's Great Outdoors. Shout out to those dudes for putting me back in a job during these crazy times. Now, if you're not already, please do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button down below. Let's keep growing this thing. We're just over 21,500 followers, which is insane to me, but hit that subscribe button. Let's keep this ball rolling. And smallmouth fishing is just starting to heat up, so you're gonna see a lot of videos with a lot of giant smallmouth coming very shortly. Now let's start with this announcement, and this is something that has been a long time coming, something I've been super excited to talk to you guys about. I've been working on for the past 3 or 4 months with a company that has been a huge part of who I am as an angler. This is a company that has literally been in every part of bass fishing that I've been a part of since I was a little kid. When I first started getting into the sport with my grandparents, with my parents, from the time I got back into bass fishing at age 17 and 18, this is a company that has always been a part of everything that I've done. Just super excited to announce my partnership with Pure Fishing, particularly Berkley and Abu Garcia reels. Why is this so important to me? Why does this matter so much? Well, ever since I was a little kid, Berkley has been in everything that I've done. I used a Berkley cherrywood rod when I was like 7 years old. My mom used the Nowak products. When I got back into bass fishing, one of the guys that was my idol, one of the guys that got me back into the sport was Mike Iaconelli, fishing is City Limits Fishing.
Never give up!
It's just one of those things that has always been a part of who I am as an angler, who I am as a fisherman. But there it is. It's out on the table. It's out in the open. I'm partnering with Berkley Fishing and Abu Garcia reels, and I cannot be more stoked to announce that to you guys. So we're going to be running Abu Garcia reels on all of my rods. We're still going to be using TFO, Temple Fork Outfitter rods. So Abu Garcia reels, Berkley products, and that's what's in this box right here. Now that you guys know that announcement, let's dive into this box right here, which I already opened up. I couldn't keep my hands off this thing when I got it. As you guys know, it's Berkley products. It is Pure Fishing products. Now, the very first thing that I noticed out of the package, this is a note from my buddy Nathan. Now, Nathan Ragsdale has been one of my friends for over the past 4 or 5 years, ever since I started getting into the YouTube thing. Shout out to Nathan for kind of helping me get this door open with Pure Fishing. He says, Ben, hammer on them. Looking forward to working with you. Hopefully this will get you rolling and we'll get you some more gear soon. So thanks, Nathan, for getting me hooked up with Pure, and I can't wait to represent you guys as best as I possibly can. The very first thing that I'm going to show you guys, this is the Berkley water bug. Now I have some of these in the boat, and this you put on a drop shot, you can put it on a net head, and that thing's going to look like an awesome Goby imitation. This is actually in the Goby color, but it's loaded with the Berkley power bait scent. Berkley power bait is probably one of my favorite scents ever. And I know I might sound crazy for that, but man, like I said, been fishing that power worm, been fishing that chigger craw forever, and I love the power bait scent. Now this is a sneaky bait. This is something that really got a lot of traction a couple years ago, but it has kind of faded out for some reason. That's the Berkley Gulp products. Gulp for smallmouth is such an effective scent, an effective bait, because smallmouth bass are so scent oriented, and that's why Berkley Max Scent is such a big deal. But these Berkley Gulp products, especially the Berkley minnows, are really, really effective when smallmouth are on bait fish. When bass are on bait fish, when smallies are on bait fish, these Berkley Gulp minnows really come into play. Now we're going to dive into one of the hottest baits on the market right now for smallmouth bass, and that is the Berkley Max Scent Flatworm. Now if you guys have never smelled Berkley Max Scent, it's like a combination of power bait and gulp, and it smells terrible, but what's super unique about this bait is that little flat color palette. Now all of these baits have sort of that matted color palette, and I think that really makes a big deal. A lot of people talk about the scent, a lot of people talk about the little size, but I think that muted color palette makes a big deal. It's a very natural look underwater. Like I talk about when I'm fishing a tube or when I'm fishing soft plastic baits with some gloss on them, I rub them on the carpet to basically mute the tones, especially in clear water. These Berkley Max Scent products all come with that muted color palette straight out of the package. Next, the Berkley X5 braided line. This has been talked about also for a long time. The X5 is a 5-carrier braided line. It's really been talked about by Jordan Lee, by Justin Lucas, by some of these top finishers that are fishing braided lines. So this X5 is really the deal. Cannot wait to fish and put it on that spinning reel. Now these next baits, this is something I had no idea Nathan was sending me, but these are the new HD Bobby Lane grass pigs. This has been around for a long time, but I've never honestly fished it. Supposedly you can rig it on a standard jig head, you can fish it deep. What I like about this is I could even put it on a tiny little open hook swim bait head and drag this thing around. It's still a pretty soft bait with the power bait scent, but it has that perch pattern. It looks super ultra realistic. It's a HD true color in the perch pattern, and I'm excited to kind of fish this thing both shallow and deep for big smallmouth, or maybe even a little A-rig, which is something that I want to play with, which, thinking back to my goals for this year, an A-rig is something that I need to learn. This next bait is the Berkley Power Swimmer. This is very similar to your standard little finesse swim bait. This is a very small size. It's the 2.8. But because we're talking about the A-rig, this is something that I requested because Dirds and I are working on this very finesse A-rig approach that we want to play with this fall. So that 2.8 is going to work really, really well. It's also going to work great on an open head jig, especially as we move into the fall. That's going to be a great bait to throw around. Now that is electric blue chartreuse, so it's basically a chartreuse belly, blue or grayish back, and it's going to be great when that water gets a little bit off-colored. And that's going to be a really cool bait to fish into the fall. We have another pack of flatworms, which astounds me because of the fact that these are almost virtually impossible to get in most places. So another pack of flatworms, and then a pack of the 5-inch grass pigs. Now these grass pigs are really cool, again, because you can fish them deep, you can fish them shallow, and you can fish them weedless if you want to. Another pack of the grass pigs. This is the natural shad color. A lot of our smallmouth do get on shad, especially in the Great Lakes, because we have a lot of shad in there. So when those shad and the baitfish start to move into the rivers, that shad color is going to work awesome. It also will imitate a lot of the baitfish really well. Here you have another pack of 2.8-inch power swimmers. It's another smaller body finesse swim bait in the silver flash color. Another pack of that silver flash color, because he knows I'm going to be fishing it on an A-rig a lot. And as we keep moving in here, we have one more pack of soft plastics. I did take one of these out of here. So this is a brand new swim bait from Berkley. And what it is a pre-rigged internal swim bait. So this is with the HD True color. Now the pack that I took out of here is in the perch color. They are 4 inches long, and this is in the gizzard shad color. So you have that kind of bluish greenish back, slight chartreuse stripe down the side, and then it's internally weighted. What's so cool about this is that flat bottom means I can drag it on bottom, kind of pull it through the rocks really effectively, but it still has that really, really soft tail. I'm just very, very excited about this bait. It's something unique, something a little bit different. So rather than having that exposed jig head, it's internally weighted, and they come 3 to a pack. That's a really cool little bait. A lot of people kind of overlook a swim bait, especially for a crankbait in the fall when those fish get really, really dialed in on that moving bait bite. But a swim bait's a great way to fish a moving bait up in the water column to get these smallmouth to come to it. A lot of times smallmouth will actually orient to baits up in the water column because they don't need to be looking down. They want a bait over their head that they can come up and get. That's why a swim bait works so well, although a crankbait, which you guys will see here in a minute, is also a really effective tool. That swim bait's going to be the deal. Now we're going to move into some hard baits. So what we have here are a bunch of the brand new hit sticks from Berkley. I don't know a ton about this bait, but essentially it has basically the castability of an ABS or your standard style jerkbait as we now know them, but it fishes like a balsa jerkbait, similar to the Berkley Frit side, where you have basically the ABS body that fishes like a balsa old school crankbait. It's going to let this bait fish like a balsa, but cast like an ABS. It's going to give you kind of the best of both worlds. So I'm excited to play with this. This is something I've never really seen done before, but I want to play with this, see how it acts, see how it fishes versus some of the more traditional modern jerkbaits on the market. This is where I get super excited because we have case packs of these baits. These are all crankbaits. And if you guys have never heard of the Berkley Dredger, the Dredger is an absolutely phenomenal bait, and I'll show you why. So this is the Dredger 14.5. The 14.5 has such a small body profile that when you compare it or put it up next to your standard 15-foot diving crankbait, you have a much smaller profile in a bait that dives just as deep. This is the HD True color yellow perch, which is phenomenal color when fish are feeding on perch, when they start to move up and feed on the bait fish. In that 15-foot range as we move closer to the fall, that HD True perch is actually going to be tied on a lot. Another one that they sent me is the threadfin shad color, which, as I mentioned, smallmouth do key in on baitfish. They key in on shad, especially on bodies of water with shad in them. So this is the HD threadfin shad color, and they sent me the Tennessee shad color as well. What I like about this Tennessee shad color, it looks a lot like our emerald shiners, where it has a white base, greenish emeraldish back. Looks like a lot of the bait fish we actually have around here. Can imitate a perch, can imitate a shiner, variety of different things, all in one color pattern. So that is what I have. Berkley, power bait, hard baits, max scent, some gulp, a lot of awesome stuff from Berkley that you guys are going to see me be fishing, that I'm super excited to fish for you guys, to show you guys how I put this stuff to work. If you guys are excited about this, as I am, go down there and give it a thumbs up. If you're not already, please do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button down below, and go down there, leave a comment, which bait are you guys most excited to see me fish out of this lot right here. We have a lot more stuff coming, some stuff that's going to get us ready for the fall, for that wobblehead bite, for that earrig bite, lots of really cool things coming. The smallmouth bite is picking up. I've been on a really cool drop shot bite that I had to wait to post that footage because there was a recent tournament, but I'll share that with you guys coming very shortly. As always, thank you for watching. Take care, tight lines. God bless. Pursue your passion.